Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Mostly Sorry podcast, starring, hosted by, and created by the one and only Joel Jimenez, who's a stand-up comic, also the drummer for the Kill Tony band, Kill Tony podcast, the band in the Kill Tony podcast, I should say, produced by David Deary, a show that started during the quarantine, started during the lockdown. Of course, Mostly Sorry, Joel Jimenez. Mostly Sorry is also his, his online handle for, I believe, both Twitter and Instagram. But yeah, the show started during quarantine, so it was mostly Sorry. It was mostly Joel and David Deary talking. The format of the show is pretty standard podcast format, general discussion. It's not like a lot of podcasts that come out have like a gimmick or a theme to the podcast, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I do enjoy myself some just standard conversations with people that, I'm a fan of or I enjoy hearing from. So the first few, there's only, as I am recording this, there's only 18 episodes of the Mostly Sorry podcast out right now. Although by the time this does come out, I would imagine episode 19 would be available. He has now started more recently started to have guests on. The first guest being Jet Ski Jesse Johnston from the Kill Tony band as well. The second guest being Jeremiah Watkins, who is the leader of the Kill Tony band. Of course, the Kill Tony band itself is my favorite part of Kill Tony. I mean, the whole show, Kill Tony, although that I've had a love-hate relationship with Kill Tony over the years, they've grown, they've had their evolutionary moments, sound issues, just kind of release strategies, delays, maybe Tony being a little bit too much of a Trump nut hugger at times. But it is my favorite podcast, one of my favorite podcasts that involves almost every aspect of comedy. Every form of comedy is represented in some way. And the Kill Tony band is one of my favorite parts of it. They generally dress up in costumes and play characters and also play music that's related to the show, either the location of where they're playing or their characters themselves. And Joel is like the heart and soul, I would say, of that show. Like he's willing to really go above and beyond and try and really kind of experiment, let's say, with things. Just brings a lot of energy to the show. I feel like he kind of picked up the torch of almost trolling Tony in Red Band at times that was left by the previous member of the band, who I'm blanking on his name, as I always do with names. But he was the original Kill Tony band. And then he brought Jeremiah in, and Jeremiah brought Joelberg in. But there's like this kind of almost kind of counter culture to I don't know how I'm explaining it, but I'm not talking about Kill Tony. I'm talking about Mostly Sorry, which is a fun podcast. I really enjoy listening to Joel, getting to know Joel more. Of course, one of the things with Joel Jimenez is his mental health. He has, like so many artists, he has insecurities, he has stresses, he really has a frequency of kind of stressing out, having panic, and a lot of kind of, just it's tough. It's tough. It's something that I relate to a lot of. There was a large part of my life where before I started meditating and before, kind of certain life events happened where, you kind of gain a new perspective on things and you realize that certain things don't influence your life, or, I just don't pay attention to certain things in life that would normally give me anxiety or give me panic or give me depression. But one of the kind of regular parts of the show is talking with Joel and his kind of just him sharing his mental health journey. Also, just his guests with their mental health journey, which I find to be a good kind of a segment, a good kind of topic to discuss. I mean, a lot of people don't discuss it, but especially today in 2020, not just specifically today, but the year that 2020 has been jam packed with things to be stressed about, to have anxiety about, and it's interesting to see how people are dealing with it in their own ways. And it's also interesting to hear Joel on his journey, trying to kind of improve himself through whether it be through meditation, whether it be through just kind of trying to form a new perspective on what's going on and kind of finding ways to be in the moment instead of being distracted by what could potentially happen in the future or what has happened in the past. I mean, realizing that you only really have control over the moment you're in right now. You don't really have control over the future or what could potentially happen in the future. So just for me, kind of the way I try to coach myself into not finding myself in a panic attack or anxiety, in addition to meditation, is to just have confidence in myself and my ability to handle things as they come. Like when shit happens, like over the years, I have found ways to stay calm under pressure and really try to focus on calmly resolving whatever the issue is, and also having faith in myself and my abilities to take care of those problems. And I mean, I'm a lot older, not a lot older, but I am older than uh, Joel is. So, I'm hoping that as I continue to listen to this podcast, that he will find his own path to kind of peace within tumultuous times. But I also enjoy their discussions on art. David Deary, the producer, has worked with a lot of bands in the past. Has been around a lot of kind of performing arts, comedy as well. Joelberg, obviously a stand-up comedian. He's a drummer. He's been in a lot of bands with other band members of Kill Tony. I think he's drummed for I'm not going to just try and name off names of bands that he's done because I'm horrible at names. But you get to hear his stories of being in different bands throughout his life and playing music and just kind of the creative process of different things and understanding things in ways when you get experience creating art, how that kind of changes and alters your perspective on things, which I really enjoy those topics as well. So it's just a fun podcast. And now that he's starting to interview other people, other comedians, it's just I really enjoy, like, as far as artists, I consider comedians to be artists, even though they're hesitant at labeling themselves that. I enjoy listening to any artist really discuss art and discuss kind of fundamentals of art because they apply to everything. You don't have to be a musician to understand. Like, there's related things when you create something, when you develop something, when you have, like, you're creating something and you don't know how well it's going to be received. You don't know how, if something is received well, how to deal with it versus how something isn't received well. So I really enjoy the conversations they have. I really enjoy listening to comedians talk with other comedians about comedy, because it is so relatable to so many other art forms, and just kind of having a persistence in following a dream that you have to be at times the only one that believes in, and it's a difficult thing to do. Because it's easy to believe in what you're doing when you have other people around you who are cheerleaders. But the length of time it takes to grow as an artist, you're not always going to have those cheerleaders. You're going to have people that doubt you. You're going to have doubts yourself, but you're going to have external people doubting you, and you have to realize, at least for me, you have to get to a place where you're confident in the things you're doing and the directions you're taking, and you have to be confident, just as you have to be confident in being able to deal with shit when it hits the fan, in the moment of shit hitting the fan, and not, anticipating shit hitting the fan, but actually doing what you can to avoid that moment, but knowing that those moments are going to happen, and you have to have faith in yourself that you're going to be able to survive those moments and succeed and grow and move past them. You have to do that with your art. You have to be, believe in yourself that what you're doing is something that is going to take a long time to grow and to build, and that, the direction you choose to take with your art is something it's wholly your own. And it's difficult. I mean, the only way to guarantee anything when it comes to art is failure. It's the easiest thing to guarantee, because the easiest way to fail is just to quit. Like that's you're never going to be successful if you quit. Pushing through is the journey, and you have to learn that the process and the journey is a very important part. That's those moments when you have those failures on your journey. Those are the moments when you're learning. Those are the moments where you are being tested, and your ability to handle yourself in those moments is gaining experience, and knowing that you'll be able to handle difficult moments easier in the future will help you not quit. Will help you succeed in not quitting. And I really enjoy the show. Mostly Sorry. It's on YouTube or all podcast apps if you want to listen to the video or the audio version. But I'm a big fan, and a big fan of Joel Jimenez in general. Get yourself 2 free books you can read with your ear holes with Audible through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Audible. That's AUDIBLE. Get yourself 2 free books when you sign up. That's 1 month free of Audible service. You get a free credit every month after that if you choose to stay with the service. That means 1 book every month, plus Audible originals, guided wellness programs, news, and so much more. Sign up now through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Audible, and get yourself 2 free books. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com, and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out!